Have you ever wondered about the true story behind the famous 300 Spartans and their stand at the Battle of Thermopylae? Let's take a step back into the 5th century BCE during the tumultuous period of the Greco-Persian Wars, an era where the Persian Empire, under the ambitious rule of King Xerxes I, was on a mission to expand its territories. Now imagine Greece, a collection of proud city-states, staring down the barrel of this impending invasion. Among these city-states was Sparta, known far and wide for its formidable warriors. When the call to arms echoed across Greece, it was King Leonidas I of Sparta, who was chosen to lead a small force against the colossal Persian army. His band of warriors? A mere 300 Spartans, bolstered by several thousand other Greek soldiers. Their mission was as daunting as it was crucial. They were to defend the narrow pass of Thermopylae, dubbed the Hot Gates. This location was of strategic importance, acting as a bottleneck that could potentially neutralize the overwhelming numbers of the Persian forces. It was a monumental task, one that would test the mettle of these Spartan warriors and their allies. This was the stage set for what would become one of history's most famed last stands. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the story of these 300 Spartans, their extraordinary courage, and the Battle of Thermopylae. So who were these 300 Spartans really? These were no ordinary soldiers. Born into the ancient city-state of Sparta, these were warriors of the highest caliber. Sparta's society was unique, with a focus on military training and discipline that was unmatched in the ancient world. From the tender age of 7, every Spartan boy was enrolled in the agoge, a rigorous education system that was as much about survival as it was about learning. Through the agoge, the boys were molded into warriors. They were taught to endure hardship, to bear pain without complaint, to survive in the harshest of conditions. They learned to fight, to strategize, to kill. But they also learned about loyalty, about honor, about duty. The agoge was as much about shaping character as it was about honing the body. By the time they were 20, these boys had become men, and not just any men. They were Spartans. They were formidable soldiers, unmatched in hand-to-hand combat. They were a force to be reckoned with, feared by many, respected by all. They were the epitome of military prowess. But their training didn't stop there. Even as adults, they continued to train, to hone their skills, to perfect their craft. They were always ready, always prepared for the next battle. They lived by a simple motto: with it or on it, meaning they would return from battle with their shield in hand, victorious or carried upon it, dead. Retreat was not an option. Surrender, a disgrace. Their commitment to their homeland was unwavering. They were ready to give everything, even their lives, to defend Sparta. They were more than just soldiers. They were guardians, protectors of their city, their people, their way of life. These were the warriors who would face the Persian horde at Thermopylae. These were the 300 Spartans. These were the men who would become legends. These were the men who would inspire generations to come. These were the men who would forever be remembered as the embodiment of courage, of valor, of sacrifice. So who were these 300 Spartans really? They were heroes. At Thermopylae, the stage was set for a battle of epic proportions. The Persian army, a massive force led by the ambitious King Xerxes I, sought to trample the Greek city-states underfoot in their quest for expansion. But Greece was not without its defenses. The Greeks, led by the indomitable King Leonidas and his band of 300 Spartans, were vastly outnumbered. Yet they were far from outmatched. The terrain was their ally. The battleground was the Pass of Thermopylae, a narrow mountain passage that could only accommodate a few soldiers at a time. This geographical feature negated the Persians' numerical advantage, turning the battle from a game of numbers to a contest of strategy and perseverance. For 3 grueling days, the Greeks held their ground. The Spartans, at the front line, were a bulwark against the Persian onslaught. The Pass of Thermopylae echoed with the clash of steel and the cries of warriors locked in deadly combat. The Spartans, honed by the rigorous agoge, were formidable. They fought with a fearless resolve, repelling wave after wave of Persian attacks. The Persian forces must have looked like an endless sea of soldiers, their numbers blotting out the horizon. Yet, the Spartans stood their ground, their shields interlocked, their spears bristling like a forest of death for any Persian bold enough to charge. But this was not a battle the Greeks could win by force alone. They knew they were outnumbered, and they knew that every moment they held the pass was another moment their homeland was safe from Persian invasion. So they fought, not for victory, but for time. But on the third day, things took a turn for the worse. Despite their valiant efforts, a local resident named Ephialtes betrayed the Greeks, revealing a mountain path that allowed the Persians to flank them. But that's a story for the next scene. For now, let's remember the Spartans' heroic stand, their unyielding spirit against overwhelming odds, a testament to their courage and dedication to their homeland. Betrayed and outflanked, the Greeks faced a dire situation. The tide of the battle took a tragic turn on the third day. A local resident, Ephialtes, driven by treachery, revealed a hidden mountain path to the Persians. This path, previously unknown to the invading forces, allowed them to bypass the narrow pass of Thermopylae and outflank the Greek soldiers. In the face of this unexpected betrayal, King Leonidas of Sparta found himself in a precarious situation. The Persian forces, once bottlenecked by the narrow pass, now threatened to envelop the Greeks from all sides. Recognizing the impending disaster, he made a decision that would echo through the ages. Leonidas dismissed the majority of the Greek forces, ordering them to retreat to safety. But for Leonidas and his 300 Spartans, retreat was not an option. They chose to stand their ground at the pass of Thermopylae. Their mission, no longer a bid for victory, but a selfless act of defiance and sacrifice. These Spartans, trained from a young age in the rigorous agoge, were no strangers to hardship and danger. They were warriors through and through, their lives dedicated to the defense of their homeland. And so, they chose to fight, not for the hope of victory, but to delay the Persians, to buy time for the rest of Greece. The sun rose on the final day of the battle, casting long shadows on the doomed Spartans. They fought to the last man, their bronze shields and spears gleaming in the morning light, their war cries reverberating through the mountain pass. It was a display of unyielding courage, of indomitable spirit, of pure, unadulterated heroism. In the end, the pass of Thermopylae fell, the last of the Spartans succumbing to the overwhelming Persian forces. But their sacrifice, their heroism, would not be forgotten. It was a beacon of hope in a time of despair, a testament to the strength of the human spirit when faced with insurmountable odds. Their sacrifice would not be in vain. The 300 Spartans' stand at Thermopylae became a symbol of courage against overwhelming odds. This valorous act of defiance did not end in vain, but rather sparked a chain of events that would immortalize these warriors in the annals of history. Their sacrifice was not just in the name of Sparta, but for the entirety of Greece. The time they bought with their lives was invaluable, allowing the remaining Greek city-states to rally their forces and prepare for the larger battles to come. A year later, these preparations bore fruit at the Battle of Plataea, where the Greeks, united and ready, dealt a decisive blow to the Persian Empire. The 300 Spartans had sown the seeds of hope and resilience, and from these seeds sprouted the tree of victory. This victory was not just about the triumph in the battlefield, but it was an assertion of the indomitable spirit of Greece, a victory of freedom over subjugation, of valor over fear. The legacy of these Spartans didn't stop at the borders of Greece. Their story, their sacrifice, transcended boundaries, reaching far and wide, echoing through the ages. Their tale has been told and retold, inspiring countless generations. They have become a symbol of heroism and self-sacrifice, embodying the very essence of bravery, courage, and honor. The cultural impact of their story is profound. It has found its way into the heart of art, literature, and film. One of the most notable of these is the graphic novel, 300 Inches by Frank Miller, which was later adapted into a highly successful film. Although these adaptations take creative liberties, they have further popularized the legend of the brave 300, keeping their memory alive, their spirit undying. The Spartans did not just fight a battle, they fought for an ideal, for freedom, for their homeland. They stood as a beacon of hope in the face of despair, a testament to the power of unity, courage, and sacrifice. They stood not as 300 men, but as one, as Sparta, as Greece. And so, the 300 Spartans' heroic stand at Thermopylae is remembered as a pivotal moment in ancient Greek history, a symbol of resistance, and a testament to the human spirit. Their legacy lives on, not just in the pages of history books, but in the hearts of those who believe in the power of courage, in the strength of unity, and in the spirit of resistance against overwhelming odds.